record this. Okay. So the first part of this lesson is you're gonna have a diagram here on the right, and it's asking you to find slope number 1 and slope number 2. Here, the one above here is not given. Here, I'm just writing it. I already wrote it down for you. If you want a demonstration, of course, on how it was found, then I can, do it as well. So here, how do we get slope number 1? We just chose the first one going from left to right. How do you find x1 and y1 or x2 and y2? It's just in order, right? The first point you found here, if you look from left to right, is -4, and the other point next to -4 is -3. Talking about this one here, and then if you go down the line here, you're gonna see another point here. It's 2 and -4. So what we're gonna do is gonna write that down here, and what you're gonna do is with the link provided to you, or I don't know why I keep doing that. With the link provided to you, it should be in color purple. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do a poll. Did you click on the link just yet? Right? Yes or no? Just to know, just to see if you are. If you haven't, then please click on it. Once again, it's here on the alt chat. Are you on the link, Joey? I think that's just on your end. It looks fine to me though. Are you downloading something? Do you have a lot of tabs opened up? Like a lot of videos? So it's just the is it just the you have only the only thing you have open was this BBU page and the the site? It's either your internet or is it your computer? That's the only thing I could think of. I'm just assuming that you have a lot of tabs open, because that's one reason that we don't notice why our computers, either that your computer is updating. There's many reasons, yeah. But yeah, that site provided to you should help you out. All you need to do is just type in the slopes. I guess I will do this first one. Here, we're going to be looking at the graph here on the right, and then here's slope number 1 and slope number 2. We're going to find slope number 1 and slope number 2. Here, I chose a different example because yeah, we didn't start on the right one. Here, we're going to do the first point, which is -3 and 0. And here, the second point is going to be 3 and. If you go up the slope, you're going to have another slope, another point of that slope, which is 3 and 2. So to find that slope, just type in the points on the site provided and tell me what answer did you get. In this site also, it gives you how to graph it as well. So that gives you another visual. So the first point is -3 and 0. The next one is 3 and 2. So click calculate and it should give you the slope. And what slope did you get for this answer? Note that the steps are given to you you need to show your steps when you're solving this in your assignment. Sorry about that. Something passed by. I don't know what it is. Okay, so what answer did you get for the first slope when you're entering the 2 points in the site? You're only entering this one here and the one and this one here. Okay, just in case you are confused, the answer you should be getting is 1/3. Okay. And I'll just put a red marker on that one. And the next one here, slope number 2, we're going to be answering this. How did I get these 2 points? I got these 2 points because I'm looking at the second slope here on the bottom. Here, the first point that's given to me here is -1 and -3. And as you follow through the slope, you're going to get the next point, which is 5 and -1. And here, you're going to have the two slopes, the 2 points in the slope. And what you have to do is just put it in the formula. What's this? That's fine. Like I said, if you are it's acting up, just watch the videos online and try to see what you can do to answer, or just try to see how the internet is doing, and you can just join in when it gets better. So here, what answer did you get for slope number 2 using the site? Anybody want to share? Should I just volunteer somebody? My name. Striker, do you have any? Do you know the answer for the slope by entering it through the site? Okay. Anybody want to help Striker on it though? Jaden, do you know? Okay. You sure? Jaden, is it correct? You get the same one as them? I don't trust Sean and Vince's answer sometimes. Can you verify? Yeah, you. Jaden, what's your answer? Is it 1/3? Do you trust them? Can you tell me another answer? Okay, cool. I'm just verifying. Sometimes you don't copy your classmates, we trust ourselves, right? And the slope here is 1/3, and this is 1/3. Once again, 1/3 is both a positive. Don't forget. Just putting this down so it's easier for you to kind of just compare. And knowing that they're both 1/3 here, that's called color red. What kind of slopes are they, right? We're gonna do the first, this is how you answer the questions in the assignment. It's gonna ask you, are they parallel? I'm gonna ask you if it's perpendicular. I'm gonna ask you it's neither. Responses. What do you think the answer is for this one? Okay, we're just gonna get a good number of students answering, and then we'll continue. Okay, that's a good amount. Thank you so much for participating. It's fine. I noticed. So the answer for this one is gonna be, one student is wavering between their answers. I wonder who it is. Yeah. The answer for this one is gonna be parallel. Why is it parallel? Because if you notice here, slope number 1 is 1/3 and slope number 2 is 1/3. For it to be parallel, they both have to be the same. Positive 1/3 is the same as positive 1/3. Okay. Next one here is going to be, we're going to do another slope. Here, once again, the points are written down. I written it down early just so it's easier for you to see, but we'll also demonstrate how did you get the points. Here, we're doing the one that's kind of a little bit of horizontal, but it's kind of slanted. Here on the left point here is 4 and -3. That's the first point that we wrote down. And the second point here, when we go down through the slope, we're gonna get 2 and -4. So here we got 2 and -4 here. And then we're gonna determine, are they, let's determine the slope, right? What is the slope gonna be? Let me clear this, close it. What is the slope gonna be? once you have the 2 points here. It's going to be, what is it? I don't know. Negative. Are you using the site or are you doing it mentally, Sean? Oh, nice, Troy. So here the first one is going to be -1/6. Thank you, Sean and Troy, for confirming that. And the next one is going to be, here is this. You have a point here and you have another point here. How do you get this? We got -1 and -5 in the bottom here. We got -1 and -5. When we go up here, we have 0 and 1. And what is the slope going to be with those 2 points that we found here? That's from the bottom here. That goes up the slope of all the way up to 0 and 1. Answer for this one is going to be positive blank over 1 is 6. Thank you. Thank you, Nicole. So it's going to be positive 6 over 1. Okay. And then when we're comparing the two, what kind of, I know it looks like might be a certain type of slope, right? A pair of slopes, but what are they? Is it, let's go back to the pole, right? And and determine, are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Okay, a lot of us answering pretty well today. Okay, a lot of us answered. Good job. Thank you so much for participating. The answer is perpendicular. That is the right answer. So why is it perpendicular? Because once again, once for it to be perpendicular, it has to be opposite integers and also a reciprocal of each other, right? Here you only have 6 here, so that's why you might be confused here. But you can always put a plus sign if you want it, if you're going to be comparing the two slopes, right? And you can always divide it by 1 because any number divided by 1 will be the same. And here you have, for be perpendicular, it has to be opposite integers and a reciprocal of each other. Here, let's double check if are they opposite integers. One's a negative and one's a positive. The first condition has been met. And here, are they reciprocals of each other, right? 1/6 reciprocal is, when you flip it over, it's going to be 6 over 1. So they are opposite integers. That's the first condition. The second condition is, are they reciprocals? Yes, they are as well. Okay. And the answer for this one is perpendicular. And we're going to clear that, hide responses, and close. And we're going to go to the third one. Okay. Once again, same process here. We're going to go focus on the left side and the right. A lot of students will probably look at this. It will be parallel, right? For sure. But let's just double check, right? Here, slope number 1 is, on the left side, is -3 and 6. That's how we got this point here from this slope, -3 and 6 from this point. And we go down here, you're going to get -1 and -3. And here we just wrote down -1, -3. And here we're going to find the slope now. What is the slope for this pair of points? Once again, if you're wondering, the formula of the slope formula, it's here. This side gives you a kind of a summary and kind of guides you on how to solve it. It is -9/2. Good job, yeah, it is. What I got as well. We're gonna highlight this so we know we're not looking all over the place, right? Our eyes are not looking around this screen. And next one is gonna be, once again, we got 4/8, 4 and 8. Whoops, sorry. We got 4 and 8 here. Oh my gosh. Stop scrolling in. We got 4 and 8 here through the, hold on, sorry. I'm just double checking if my screen is, there you go. Sorry about that. I'm just adjusting. So you got 4 and 8 here, and we put that down in our second slope here. And here we got, when we go down here, from 4 and 8, we go down and we got another point that's given. Here is going to be 6 and 0. So when we put the slope again, what is our answer going to be? What is our slope going to be when we put in the formula? -4/1, right? Actually, if you do it manually, answer is -8/2, right? But you can always simplify that, okay? And you can, if you want to know how to simplify it, here, I'll just show it to you. It's gonna be, oh no, what did I do? I was scared. What the? I don't know what I did. Oops. I'm sorry, hold on. What did I do? So here it's 8/2. That's the right answer here. If you do the self formula manually, of course. So, hold on. What did I do? Sorry, I'm struggling here. Hold on. Here you have 8/2. Got it this time. Easy. Yep. It's not easy. And here, let me see. Division symbol. There you go. Sorry about that. So here you can divide the top portion and the bottom portion by, technically this is called simplifying, right? So here you can divide 8/2 and you can divide 2/2 as well, right? How does this make sense? It's like saying we're dividing that fraction by 1, right? So what makes 1, right? Any number divided by itself makes the value of 1, right? 3 divided by 3, 6 divided by 6 makes the value of 1. You can even go to 200 divided by 200 will still equal to 1, right? But technically, how we're simplifying -8/2 is we're dividing it by 1. But here we can convert the value of 1 with 2/2, because 2/2 is, once again, it's still considered 1, right? So we can divide -8 and 2 by 2/2, which is technically considered as 1, and they're going to equal 2. When you simplify it, it'll equal to -4, right? And then you divide the one on the bottom is going to be 2 divided by 2 is 1. So that's how that was done. Or you can translate this as just 4. Okay. -4 or 4, -4. Yeah. You can translate this as -4. Okay. So I hope that's not too complicated. I know it is sort of complicated. Let me highlight that in red. So your answer is not -8/2. Okay. Your answer is -4/2, because you need to simplify that, right? Oops. So there's different forms on to write it. And what do you think is the answer going to be? Are they, instead of like figuring out, just the basics of numbers? Okay, let's go to the poll again. Are they parallel? Are they perpendicular, or are they neither? Once again, focus on only on the red. If you're getting confused with all this other stuff, just focus on this one here, 4/1. I'll erase everything here. The only thing you'll be focusing on is this. I'll unhighlight this one just in case so you don't confuse. So all you're looking at is the one in red. Okay. What is the answer? Is it perpendicular, parallel, or neither? Okay. Is everyone good? Okay, a good amount of students are participating. Can we get a few more students more? Yes, Vince, you have a question? Okay. So here the answer for this one is going to be neither. Okay. For the students that answered parallel, okay. So neither response, and I'm gonna clear it. I'm gonna hide it. I might close it. So it's not parallel. Why are they not parallel? Because parallel lines, parallel slopes has to be the same, right? -9/2 is not the same as -4/1. So that's far away from being parallel. It is not perpendicular as well, because one clue is they're not opposite integers. One's a negative and the other one's a negative as well. Here, you have also a reciprocal, they're not reciprocals of each other. 9/2's reciprocal is 2/9. This is 4/1, which is far away from the reciprocal of 9/2, which is 2/9. Okay, so the answer for this is neither. Moving on to the next one, is this time we're going to be solving. I want you to show your work. Once again, this one here, I want you to show your work what you see on the site. You can just put a calculator and say, Mr. I used the calculator. The calculator is there to guide you. Once again, it's not there to, it's not there for you to use to find answers. It's there to guide you. Okay. So please show your work when you are doing this part of the assignment, or else I'm going to be minusing lots of points from your tissue paper, which is fine. It's your choice, right? I'm not gonna go over that again. If you don't want to listen, then that's fine as well. All done. You're going on to the next one. There's a solution part on the right side here. This is the way I want you to show your work, because I'll give you the next site here. The next site given does not give you, does not show you the work. I don't know why. You gotta buy the, what's the word called? For you to show the steps, you gotta subscribe, and we're all broke and stuff. So, well, I'm broke. I'm gonna admit it. I'm not gonna subscribe to that. I'm trying to find other sites, but they're not offering. Maybe Photomath will be there to show you the work. I'm not sure. But this one here, at least it shows you the answer, right? So going to the first one, I'm just gonna show you an example on how to do the work, right? To solve this here is, you gotta convert it into this slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is at y equals mx plus b. Basically, you're just solving for y, right? Do not worry about the result, just follow through. And here, I'll show you how to solve for y in this equation. Here in this expression on the left, right, you're solving for y. So what you do is, you have to get rid of plus 6x, which is you have to use minus 6x here on the left. And since you're minus 6x on this side of the expression, you have to also minus 6x on the right side of the expression, which is a lot of students get confused one because they think you have to minus it, but you have to think again is you minus negative 6x to get rid of this plus 6x here on this equation, this expression, right? But here if you minus 6x here, you have to determine is there any like terms on this side. If there's not, then just leave them alone and just write them properly. Here you're gonna ask, how is this plus 18 here? Once again, here you have a positive 18, so it's more proper to keep that it is a positive 18, right? The next step is to get rid of, to solve for y, to 2y here, is you need to get rid of 2. To get rid of multiplication, you have to divide by the same value, which is 2. On the left side of the expression, 2 divided by 2 is 1y. You don't have to put 1y, of course, but just in case. If you want to, then you may. And here you divide both of the values above. Negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3x. And here, positive 18 divided by 2 is positive 9. Okay. And here, if you're looking at of course, we're going to focus on majority of the time on our slope. So I'm going to convert that into over 1. Okay. But your answer is just negative 3. But you can always convert to negative 3 over 1 if you want to. Going on to the next one. I just want to show you how to solve this manually. I just want to show this manually, but here, for this example, we're going to use a calculator just so we're not always solving this here on top. So what is the answer for when you put this slope given to us? What is the formation in slope-intercept form? Anybody want to share? Using the site data that's provided to us. Y equals for sure. But again, just click on the link that I provided on the alt chat. Y equals to negative 3 x plus 6. Nice. So now here once again, you get negative 3. Don't forget, you can always convert that into a slope, or I don't want to say fraction, right? But you can always divide it by 1. Hold on. Divided by 1. And here, when you compare the two slopes here, what are the two slopes identified as, right? Are they parallel? Oops. Hold on. Mistake. Are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Well, I'm just checking out the attendance. It was interesting yesterday. I caught a student skipping my class because I went to a restaurant, or I went to buy food, and I caught a student because he wasn't attending my class, my fourth period. Busted. I didn't want to make it a big deal, so I was like, "Hey, how you been?" Yeah. The answer for this one is: are they parallel? Focus on the one in red. Are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? If you want me to highlight everything, just so you're not confused on what you're comparing, I can do that as well. Okay, just waiting for more responses. Hold on, just turn on the aircon as well. It's getting kind of hot. Classroom. Okay, we're still waiting for a few more to answer, and we will begin. Okay, we have a few, not the same participation rate, but we'll continue on. So here, a lot of you are saying parallel. That is the correct answer. Why is it parallel? Once again, parallel slopes have to be the same. So here you have negative 3 over 1, and you have another negative 3 over 1. Or here it was given to us was negative 3 and negative 3 actually. Yeah. So even though in that way, in that form, they are still the same. Negative 3 and negative 3. Okay. Moving on to the next example here. Once again, we're going to show you the steps. So here we're going to solve this for this one first. What a lot of students do, they tend to just overthink it, and then they just don't realize that it's already been solved, right? So here, you can just type that down as your answer already. And here you have a slope of negative 2. And here, now you have to solve this one, right? For sure. To solve for this one, a lot of students here, they get confused with x. So what you can do is you can put a 1 there if you want to, right? And here you can get rid of, to solve for y, for the self step form, you have to get rid of 1x. I don't know why I keep saying that. And you to get rid of 1x, we have to minus 1x on this expression here on the left. And since we minus 1x here, that's going to be 0, right? 1x and minus 1x is going to be 0. Of course, we're not going to write down 0 because that's redundant. That's not necessary. And here we're gonna drop down negative 2y. Okay. On the right, since we minus 1x on the left side of the expression, we're going to minus 1x on the right expression as well to balance out the equation. So here, you cannot combine 4 and negative 1. So what you do is just write it in proper form, right? Just write it down, and here put negative 1x. And if it's a plus 4, because once again, this is a positive number. If this was a negative number here, I'll just change it here just real quick. It won't even make a difference in the won't make a difference in the when we're solving it, right? Here will be a negative 4, right? The negative 4 because it's a minus 4 because it's a negative. If it's a positive, then it's from the plus 4. Okay. Here we're gonna write down our final answers. Negative 2 divided by negative 2, because you always divide with the same value to make the value of 1y equal to. And here we're going to divide negative 1 over divided by negative 2. That's just going to be negative 1 divided by negative 2. But we can divide the negative. Negative divided by negative will turn to a positive. Okay, so that's positive 1 half x. Oh my god, 1 half x. And here we're going to do is negative 4 divided by negative 2. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay. Of course, if you don't like that, then you can just change it to a 6, right? If you want to change the value. If I change the value just based on, maybe there's a misconception. Okay. And here 6 divided by 2 is gonna be not 2, but it's gonna be 3. Okay. If you're asking me, Mr., how am I changing all the numbers? It's just me, I'm just changing the givens. Okay. I just changed it to a negative 6, so it gives you a better understanding of the word. And here we have the slope of 1 half. And I'm gonna take out the 1 because that's not proper, right? And here, what is the answer gonna be? Are they? Let me clear this. Let me hide responses, and you can, yeah, can you answer? Which is it now? Is it, oops, is it parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Once again, you can convert 2 over 1 with 2 as negative 2 over 1. And here you can put a plus sign if you want to, just so it's easier to compare. Okay, sorry about that. I was replying to my coworker. So here the answer is perpendicular. That is the right answer. And here you can tell it's perpendicular because 1 is a negative and 1's a positive. One here is 2 over 1 and the other one is a reciprocal of 1 over 2. So that is a sign of perpendicular. Okay. And we're going to go to our last one here. We're not going to clear, hide responses. And then here we're not going to solve it. Here this time I just want you guys to practice on just using the site itself, right? What is the slope for this? Use the calculator, online calculator. Once again, I still want you to show your work for this one. Just you attempting to show on how to solve it will give you credit if you're not really that strong in solving these equations. So it's going to be y equals 2. What is your answer? What do you mean write this down? Nani? What do you mean? What? Are you trying to scare everyone, Vince? All I said was you gotta show your work. When you're turning in your assignment, you gotta show your work like this. Yeah. I was like, what? I don't want to do that. Dude. I'm recording it. Why do I have to? I don't have to tell you to write it if it's recorded. Thank you. It is. Oops. So the answer for the first one is gonna be 5x minus 13. Thank you so much. And then here, once again, you can always put that in red, and you can always divide that by 1, right? If you want to convert it into a proper. Now going on to slope number 2. Thank you so much, Troy, for helping us up in the class with number 1. And what about the second one? Anybody have the answer for the second one? Thank you, Troy, again. The carry for this session, for this part of the lesson. Over 5. I know it could be kind of confusing, right? Especially if there's fractions here on the right. Don't be afraid of the fractions here. So here you have the slope of -2/3. That's really what we're focusing on the most. If we can't solve it, just leave it as it is. As long as we're following the same steps, you should be fine, right? So here is the last one before we go to our work session here. What is the answer for this one? Are they parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Okay, and to the last one, here is, well, a lot of students are responding last one. The answer is neither. Good job. How do you know it's not neither? Because they are neither parallel because the slopes are not the same. That's really obvious, right? And they're not perpendicular because once a positive, although they're once a positive and once a negative, 5/1's reciprocal is 1/5. This is 2/5, which is not the reciprocal of 5/1, right? We're looking for 1/5, which is not. We had the 5, but this needed to be a 1, but we don't. It's a 2. Okay. On that note, that is the exercise. I do hope that it was helpful to you. Um, what's going to be going on tomorrow is I'm going to confirm if we're going to be doing star math. If we're not doing star math, then we're going to do another exercise on slopes, just so you know we're still learning. And I'm gonna make it a quiz. Somewhat a quiz. Is it a quiz? Yeah, I'll make it a quiz on it on slopes. And just so since you already know how to do it, I'll teach you on how to really read slopes properly. I'm not gonna teach you how to solve it. That's beyond my because since we're not in the classroom, it's really hard to do that. But reading slopes, I think it's gonna really benefit you, especially when you are like taking star math or even um, taking SATs and stuff like that. So on that note, we still have 10 more minutes. If you have any questions, I'll just start dismissing you. I'll just put that trust that you'll be completing your assignments since 9 minutes or 8 minutes, not even enough time to even begin anything. Um, so we'll end the session today. Now, I may close let me stop the recording.